Immensely proud. Obviously, to force a result on this wicket, I think is very special. But then you go back to before a ball was even bowled with the illness that ran through the camp. A few changes we had to make through. Well, the one change of Stokes being ill, and Will Jacks having to come in, and getting told 2 minutes before team time to come and make his debut, going out getting 6 for. Ollie Pope batting at 3, very important position out here, and then also donning the gloves for a very long time. Could go on and on about everyone in the squad because everyone's just been absolutely incredible this week. Everyone plays for each other, and no one leaves anything out on that field. And that's the kind of attitude and the kind of mentality that we need out here. So extremely proud.
I mean, we'll come on to getting 20 wickets on that pitch, but it was set up on day one with the rate you got those runs to buy you time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think when you look at very good batting wickets, sometimes I'm not going to lie, I did look quite far ahead as to how this could play out. And for me on day one, it was we're going to have to score these runs quickly. It's going to be batting error that's going to probably get the batsman out on this wicket because there wasn't any swing, there wasn't any seam, there wasn't any spin. So we had to really capitalise on the fact that we were in very good batting conditions. And then as the test match went on, it was just all about how can we play to somehow get the game into position on day 5 where both teams were in a position to win the game. Because I think dangling that little carrot there with that declaration sort of played our favour and sort of gave them a little sniff to do it. And our batsman in the second innings actually said when you looked to try and force the ball, you felt like you were going to give a few chances. And it was just brilliant to be stood here with, what was it, 8-9 minutes left in the day probably to get that last wicket. It's just absolutely amazing.
I can highlight a load of batters in your side. If I could just pick on one, Harry Brook, playing in his second test match. You batted a bit with him. He's a clean striker of the ball, isn't he? He's a future star.
I mean, those 2 innings this week were incredible to watch. The selflessness that he went out there and played with, the freedom, the way he just went out and expressed his talent was absolutely incredible. I don't think that too many players in their second test match have quite showed the ability of what Harry has showed there. He's one for the future. It's always one of those difficult things. You don't want to start talking someone up too much, but Harry's got everything. Across all formats as well. But so to have him come in at number 5 with the unfortunate injury to Johnny, is an absolute blessing for us, blessing for English cricket that we've got that talent of batsmen coming through, and just amazing knock from a very talented young man.
If you talk the talk about we're not playing for draws, you have to walk the walk, and you did that at tea time yesterday. I don't know any England captain actually that would have declared at tea time apart from you yesterday. Was that ever in doubt for you?
No, it wasn't. Just going back to the selflessness of this team, it was simply a message we sent out to Brookie, who could have cruised himself to 100, but it was, we had about half an hour left until the tea break, I think, and we just sent the message out saying put your foot down now because we're going to declare at tea. And there was no sort of second guessing ourselves on that, because that's what we wanted to go into day 5. We want to make this, test match cricket. We want people viewing this. We don't want it to be something where people might just, turn the TV off because it might be the inevitable draw. And you just got to think of ways to keep growing test cricket, keep bringing people back to watching it. The crowd here this week was amazing. And I'm going to lie, the reception that we sort of got walking off the field as winners in Pakistan was very special. And I hope that everyone in Pakistan who's turned out to watch this game appreciated the cricket that's been played all this week, not just from us but also from Pakistan.
Yeah, they sure did. Now for 4.5 days you try and get that ball reverse swinging from using sweat from your back, your neck, from Leachy's head. Finally you got it reverse swinging. Is that the moment you knew you had to pounce?
It was, yeah. Obviously reverse swing is just, it's a lot harder to play than conventional swing, and it was sort of an unplanned tactic really, because we didn't know if we were going to get the ball reversing, but as soon as it did start reversing, it was obviously a big occasion for me, Jimmy and Robbo to come in, and it just shows how important it is to look after the ball, to try and get the ball into some kind of state where the seamers can come back into the game and take wickets. And those spells that Robbo and Jimmy bowled today were absolutely high class. Jimmy running in it, the tender age of 40 plus. It's amazing to see, just the heart that everyone shows in this team. I'm just incredibly proud that I get to lead these guys out in the field.
And 11 overs again, a little bit like Headingley, 11 overs on the bounce from you. Physically okay to do that?
Yeah, I'm getting sick of people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, you're fresh, so you can bowl us in." To be honest, but like again, it's something that I've came out here with the tactical decision of waiting for that time with the reverse ball, because that's where I feel I can really affect the game out in these conditions. We've got Jimmy and Robbo who are very good at bringing the ball back in, whereas my skill with the reverse is going away from the bat. So as soon as the ball started to reverse in, I thought I owed the odds a few overs.
And Leachy seems pretty good with the new ball. Twice he struck for you. Just keep him for the new ball.
Yeah, again, another decision which we had to take, late on, where the reverse swinging ball just felt like we were going to get, a wicket every single over, and it felt like the batsmen were finding it hard to score because of how soft it was. And we knew that eventually we're going to have to turn to double spin, and we thought with the harder new ball that it will bring them more into the game. And then, obviously Leachy finishing that off was a good moment of ecstasy for everyone.
You've done a lot of great things, World Cups. Tell us the feeling when you go through 5 days like that with 10 teammates and pull off a victory like that. What does it feel like for a captain and a team in that dressing room? I would say it's emotional, really. The amount of effort that you put, especially if you're in the field, on day 5. It's you get that huge rush of adrenaline and excitement, and then sort of 20 minutes later your body starts to get stiff, and you sort of, you feel on a bit of a come down, but that's because of, I guess, the realisation of what you've managed to achieve and winning a test match on day 5. But yeah, it's hard to really explain, but it's only something that you get out of sport, and that's why I absolutely love playing. You described it as one of England's greatest ever away wins. If you don't mind me saying, that was one of the greatest displays of captaincy I've ever seen. Well done this week.
Thank you, Asif. Cheers.